I'm Mark, and today we're peeking inside the money machine of Venus Williams. 7 Grand Slams sounds like glitter, but it is also a plan. A long, patient, stubborn plan. She turned big wins into steady wealth, not just victory laps. We're talking prize checks, appearance fees, and brand deals that stack like bricks. And yeah, some numbers will make your jaw drop, but I want to show you the choices behind them. The small levers, the boring habits, the tiny edges that add up over years. Because the difference between rich and durable rich is time, and Venus played the long game. If this sounds like the kind of messy but real talk you want more of, that's what we do here at Kickin Riches. So yeah, subscribe if you want in. I grew up counting coins at a kitchen table, so I'm picky about hype. I like facts. And with Venus, the facts are loud. 7 majors, decades near the top, about $42.7 million in career prize money on court alone. That's pre-tax, before sponsors. So here's my question to you. If trophies are the spark, what actually makes the engine run? Stick with me because the engine is where the wealth lives. 7 majors gave Venus status, sure, but status changes rates. Rates change everything. When you win, doors open wider, and the checks behind those doors get bigger. Prize money is the obvious bit. She's second all-time in women's on-court earnings with about $42.7 million. But the hidden juice is the spillover. Better seeding leads to deeper runs. Deeper runs mean more matches on TV. More TV means better sponsor terms. Brands pay base fees. They add performance bonuses. They buy usage rights for ads and for a set time. It's a ladder where every rung makes the next one stronger. I learned that the hard way at uni, selling tiny ad slots for our student mag. One big name on the cover, and boom, every local shop wanted in. Wins are signal. Signal sets price, and price compounds. It's like rolling a snowball down a long hill. It looks slow at the top and scary huge at the bottom. I used to think one mega win makes you set for life, but it's the stay power that multiplies it. So tell me this, do you think one season can be 10 steady years? Next, we'll talk about how time turns decent money into real leverage. Here's the quiet edge, longevity. Year after year, Venus stayed in the mix. She kept showing up, even into her 40s, and was still winning matches at 45. That matters for money. Because each added season brings prize checks, yes, but also appearance fees and renewals. Renewals are sneaky. A brand will pay more if you are not a one-hit wonder. They want reliability. She gave them that. And when you hang around the top long enough, your story gets bigger than the scoreboard. Legacy sells. Legacy keeps you on billboards even when rankings dip. I feel this tug in me like, am I overselling time here? But look, the market loves steady. Steady feels safe, and safe gets budget. It's like a marathon where water stops are sponsors. The longer you run, the more stops you hit. Small sips add up. Also, staying active guards against that post-career cliff that scares athletes. Keep the brand alive, and the drop turns into a glide. Be honest with me, would you trade one huge paycheck for 10 smaller ones that keep coming? Okay, now let's hit the moment that changed the ladder for everyone, not just Venus. This part gives me chills. In 2006, Venus wrote a public letter calling out the pay gap at Wimbledon. Before that, the women's champion made less than the men's champion. She met with officials. She used her voice clearly and with risk. I imagine the whispers, the eye rolls, the "what are you doing?" But she did it. Then in early 2007, Wimbledon moved to equal prize money. That is policy. Policy rewires paydays. She wasn't just playing for herself then, she was moving the floor for every woman who came next. And here's a neat twist. Leadership like that boosts brand value. Impact travels. Premium partners want values, not just velocity on a forehand. So the advocacy fed the business, and the business amplified the advocacy. I used to think activism and money pull in different directions, but sometimes they lock like gears. And when gears lock, torque happens. So, question. Would you risk short-term comfort to fix a system you can change? Let's see how that decision showed up in the payouts, right down to the pound. Okay, simple math time. Back in 2006 at Wimbledon, the women's champion got £625,000. The men's champion got $655,000. That gap sent a message, and Venus said so. In 2007, after the change, the champions each got £700,000, and Venus won that title. So she became the first woman to collect a champion's check equal to the men's check there. That is not just symbolic. It is money in pocket, right away and forever after for future champs. Over a career, a shift like that compounds across finals, semis, and media value. It raises the ceiling and the floor. Sponsors notice. Equal pay means equal headlines, and equal headlines often mean bigger campaigns. I picture it like raising the base of a house so the whole frame sits higher. Everything downstream gets stronger. I second-guess myself here because we can't pin a dollar sign on every ripple, but the direction is clear, up and wider. If you were a young player, would that change the way you plan your career? Now let's step off court and into the businesses that keep paying when the racket rests. Venus did not just rent her name, she built with it. Two pillars stand out. EleVen by Venus Williams, her activewear brand, and V Starr Interiors, her design firm. Different models. EleVen sells product direct to fans and in select retail. That brings product margins, inventory risk, and sometimes licensing. V Starr earns project fees, retainers, and vendor markups. That is services cash flow. Why is this smart? Because owned brands create equity, not just one-time checks. Equity can outlive speed on the court. Also, she uses her name the right way. Matches, travel, training become content. Content drives attention. Attention drives conversion. It's a clean loop. When I ran a tiny startup, I learned the hard way that attention without an owned product is like applause without a tip jar. Feels nice, pays nothing. Here, the tip jar is real. Sales land in her business, not only in a sponsor's report. Quick gut check. If you could pick, would you take a bigger fee today or a smaller slice of a brand you own tomorrow? Next up, how the endorsement deals slot around those pillars without stepping on them. Top-tier endorsement deals usually follow a simple spine. There is a base fee. There are performance bonuses if you hit targets like wins or sales. There are usage rights so the brand can run your face in ads for a set time. And there is the term length, often multi-year. Venus pairs partners in lanes that make sense together. Lifestyle, wellness, equipment. No messy clashes. Values fit keeps deals long. When your story and the brand story rhyme, renewals come easier. And sometimes she takes minority ownership in sports or startups. That adds equity to the mix without spreading too thin. Cash plus upside. It is like planting a few trees while you keep selling fruit at the market. I still argue with myself on equity versus cash because rent is real and markets can flop, but the blend gives you both oxygen and roots. Your turn. If a brand offered you less cash but a smart equity slice, would you say yes? Hold that thought, because health and risk management decide whether you can even stay in the shop to sell. Here's the hard truth. Injuries and autoimmune issues could have cut Venus's runway short. She spoke about Sjogren's syndrome and had to manage her body with intent. Yet she kept coming back. Even at 45, she was still winning matches on tour. That is rare air. Longevity like that holds the whole money system together. It keeps prize money, appearance fees, and sponsor trust flowing. It also buys time for businesses to mature. More seasons equal more content, and more content feeds brand awareness. I feel a lump in my throat here because health can feel unfair, and no spreadsheet fixes fatigue. But planning does help. Manage the calendar. Protect recovery. Pick deals that do not drain you. Guard your name like a bank vault. And build equity while the lights are still bright. That way, when you do slow down, the checks do not. So, real talk. If your body is your business, what would you change this week to protect it? All right, let's land this with a simple playbook I think she's been running for years. Here's the map I see in Venus's story. Win, then stretch the window. Use each year to raise your rate. Diversify income streams so one bad month does not sink the ship. Keep equity where you can. Pick partners that match your values so deals last longer. Use advocacy to grow impact and open better rooms. Protect health to extend the brand and give your businesses time to grow. And stay humble enough to adjust when facts change. That is not financial advice. It is pattern spotting from a long career that still inspires me. If this kind of breakdown helps, tap subscribe, because we do this kind of messy, honest money talk every week on Kickin' Riches. Thank you for watching and hanging out with me. I'm grateful you're here. If you want more, queue up our episodes on athletes who traded fees for equity and how those bets played out. They will make you rethink your next move. So leave me with this one thought. If you had to choose between fast money today and durable money for the next 10 years, which future would you actually build?